Welcome to this class CM 330, Organizational Behavior. All what you have to do in this class is go through this PowerPoint to this lecture and then send me a a um, op- a, um, a little essay on my email that I will send to you with this um, recording every week for the next 15 weeks. So first of all, I want to talk to you about what the class is all about. It's about organizational behavior and opportunities. Our learning objectives are define what is the definition of organizational behavior. How do you behave in organizations uh, towards other people and towards yourself? Identify 4 action steps for responding positively in times of change. Organizations change, the country change, everybody change. How do you, what are the 4 steps? Identify the important systems components of an organization. What are the components of an organization? What are the elements, or what are the, like if you're going to cook something, you put some components to it to make the food of whatever you want to do. Describe the formal and informal elements of an organization. So we have formal organizations and we have informal elements. Understand the diversity of organizations in the economy as exemplified by the 6 focus organizations. Now, in the United States, there is a law that all kinds of people should work in an organization. It cannot be just one kind of nationality. That is what the United States is all about. Okay. Now, the class will be about, not about some other countries that are like monolistic, like Japan, everybody's Japanese; China, everybody's Chinese. Okay. But in the United States, we have a mixture of all these kinds of people. How do you? I mean, you have Chinese, you have Japanese, you have European, you have nationalities. So, and we all have to work together in the United States. So, United States is a kind of a different country because there is diversity of nationalities. Recognize the opportunities that change creates for organizational behavior. So, if there are changes, um, so how do you behave on those with those changes? Demonstrate the value of objective knowledge and skill development in the study of organizational behavior. So these are the learning objectives. Now, how do we define organizational behavior? Organizational behavior is individual behavior and group dynamics in the organization. So we have individual behaviors, which are all different depending on our culture, depending on our language, depending on what we eat even, and then how do you put this all together in a group of different kinds of people? Not only different kinds of people in nationality, we don't have any one nationality in the United States. We have different nationalities that will be together. So, first of all, the call to competition, contest, or the battle, times of challenge and change. So we do some changes. That is the call to competition, contest, or battle. Now, individuals in the organization have competition. Who's the best? Who can do the best? Who can do a better job? So how can you do that? How can you put together when people are trying to be the best? The transformation or the second step is transformation or modification an organization and its stakeholders. So if there is a change, there is a transformation. Okay, transformation is changes. And the last one is favorite times of change, progress, and advance. So, uh, so times to challenge and change, and then it will lead to opportunities. So this is what human behavior is. Okay, what constitutes human behavior? Okay, these are the variables that affect human behavior. Jobs, the kind of job that you're doing. Okay, if you're a doctor, you have to act like a doctor. If you're a professor, you have to act like a professor. Okay, and then the work design. Okay, the work design. So how was the work design? And then communication, you have to communicate accordingly. Like I said, if you're a doctor, you have to talk to your patients the right way. If you're in sales, you have to talk to the to the customers the right way. And then after doing all these three, you will have a performance appraisal. Okay, that will also add to your human behavior. You can change or you can be transformed because of the performance appraisal. And then organizational design. How was the organizations designed? That also affects the human behavior and the organizational structure. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that affects human behavior. These are the 6 variables that affects human behavior. Two perspectives of human behavior. Okay, we have internal human behavior. It's the person himself, or the person herself or himself. You know, what are the uh, what are the internal ones? Understand human behavior through excuse me, through factors made inside the person. What are these factors? The thoughts and feelings. There are two things. Um, the thoughts and feelings of the person. And then the external ones, understand behavior through the factors outside the person, like the government, okay, where you live. Like the United States is kind of very diverse um, group of people. Okay, Los Angeles, we have 230 cultures living together in this area here. Okay, and we have so many languages spoken in the United States. Almost like most of the students, international students, they can speak at least 2 languages, or you know, so that makes them a little bit more intelligent than a person who can. From research, it was proven that a person who can only speak one language is less the mind or the brain was less developed than a person than who can speak more than one language. So in interdisciplinary influences on organizational behavior. So we have so many disciplines or subject matters that are involved in human behavior. Okay, like psychology, the science of human behavior. Okay, and then we have sociology, the science of society of groups. You study groups in sociology. Psychology, you study the person himself or herself. And then we have anthropology, the science of behavior, human learned behavior. So, what was the history? Anthropology is the history of human behavior. Okay, now if you're going to if you're going to study this history of human behavior, it's just like men or human beings. They like to kill each other all the time or destroy each other, and sometimes, you know, uh, you wonder why. Why is it that human beings likes to we like to destroy each other all the time? It's kind of crazy, isn't it? It's kind of crazy. And then engineering, the applied science of energy and matter. Engineering is the application of what we have learned in theories. Okay, we put it into useful tools. That's engineering. We pull use we learn something in physics, and then we put it in useful tool. We learn something in about the weather, and we put it in useful tool. And then also management, the study of overseeing activities and supervising people in organizations. How do you put people together in organization is called management. And lastly, medicine, the applied science of healing or treatment of disease in health of human beings. So these are the disciplines or the subject matters or the studies that will put together the understanding of organizational behavior. Okay, so you have to know a little of psychology, a little of sociology, a little of anthropology, a lot of management, a little of medicine, and a little of engineering, and then from this you'll be able to understand or influence organizational behavior. Now, behavior in times of change. You know, behavior in times of change. What are examples of changes? Government changes. In the United States, we don't have a king, and the king we call it the president, and the president now becomes the king for 4 years in the United States. Only 4 years. In some other countries, you have the king. Like right now, Queen Elizabeth died. She's been queen for like forever. Okay, but in the United States, you can only be like a king or president. We call them president for 4 years, and then if you are good, you have another 4 years, and then that's it. You cannot be, you cannot serve anymore. Okay. But in some other countries, you can be like forever, ever, 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 okay. And hey, also in the United States, in the Constitution of the United States, it says that all human beings are created equal. Okay, all human beings are created equal. That is the Like, 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 what is the United States? The United States is a place that all men or all human beings are. We have the belief that all men are created equal. Okay, in some other countries, hey, no, it's not like that. Like here, I'm only a professor for this time. Okay, but we are still equal. We're still equal. I'm the professor, you're the student. But as far as human values are concerned, we're equal. In some other countries, like, oh my God, he's the vice president. You have to bow to him. You have to like kiss his feet. That's not in the United States. Okay, huh? That's not. So for those of you who came from countries that, you know, like you have this idea that, oh my God, he's the president. He's a, you have to bow to him. You have to kiss his feet. You have to, you know, do everything to please him. That is not in the United States. It's a different culture because of our Constitution. It says that all human beings are created equal. How can you be equal when you have to be scared of the other person? Okay. So, you know, but sometimes the organizations here in the United States also like, oh, it's a Japanese organization, it's a Korean organization. So sometimes they have this, they also have this culture of wherever they came from. Okay, huh? Or it's an English organization from England, so they kind of have a different kind of culture there. But here, we have the idea that all human beings are created equal in the pursuit of happiness. Okay, so that is the idea here in the United States. But of course, you have to play your part. You have to do whatever. You have to play your role in the organization, whatever your role is. Okay. So in most means of change, people become rigid and reactive rather than open and responsive. Okay. People don't like to change. That's the thing. Uh, they it's very hard to change because you have to change your mind, your body, and your soul. Okay, you have to change these three parts of a human being to be able to. So people often become rigid and reactive. Hey, I don't like to change, you know. Okay, and then see the opportunity in change. What are the opportunities? Now, of course, the opportunity is that first of all, you have to start with a positive attitude, and then you ask questions. Ask questions. I have some students who are coming from countries that you cannot even ask a question. Okay, they're scared of asking questions. Hey, if you feel that your boss is not doing right, you ask questions. Especially in California, women have more rights than men. Okay, so you ask questions. Don't be scared to ask questions. Okay, and then you listen to the answers and be committed to success. Both of you uh, and your team, okay, have all to be committed to success. That is the idea. Okay. Now, organizations are as open systems. What do you mean by open systems? Organizations are open systems of interacting components, and the components are these are the human beings. Okay, people, tasks, technology, and structure come together for a purpose. So you have people, and then you have the tasks, the work, and then you have technology. What technology are you using? You know, and the structure of the organization come together. What do you mean by structure? Okay, you have your supervisor, and you have your subordinate. Okay, that is the structure. Okay. Internal components interact with the external components in the task environment. Now remember we discussed a few slides ago that we have internal components and we have external components. Internal components is the human being itself. Some people are very competitive. And then we have the customers who needs the product or the service that you are offering. And we have the vendors who are selling to your company. Okay, so you have to make all of these three kind of happy. Okay, kind of happy. Okay, so and then you have the external one, especially in the United States is the government because the government changes every 4 years. The way it's a democratic country, democratic country. Okay, democratic country means everything is decided by a group. Majority rules, minority follows. Okay, and you will see this in, of course, sometimes you don't see this in other you will see this morely in American companies. Okay, the what is the meaning of the word democracy? Now, what are the internal components of an organization? Number one, the task, the organization's mission, purpose, or goal for existing. It's mostly like selling a product that will make selling a product or a service that will make the other people's life better than um, than what you have right now or what the other person has right now. So you add a product or a service that will make the other people need your organization. So people, the human resources of the organization, these are the human beings. And the most complicated in existence right now are the human beings. Sometimes it's very hard to understand the human being. You need to understand the culture of the human being, where the human being came from. You have to understand the language. You have to understand the food. Okay, the food of does food have anything to do with the human being? Of course, you know. Okay. Now, technology, some people are better in technology and some people are not. The tools, knowledge, and techniques used to transform inputs into outputs. Now, remember, we are coming up with a product that is the output or the service that will make our organization better than the other organizations. Okay. And then the structure, the systems of communication, authority, roles, and workflow. Now, sometimes, um, because of the idea that all men are created equal in the United States, sometimes if the organization comes from another culture, it's kind of different dealing with them because their structure, they bring their structure here and you have to deal with that. Okay, you have to deal with that kind of structure, and there are so many stuff, but usually there are in the United States there are laws to protect American structure. What is American structure? The idea of democracy, democratic way of thinking. So here are the here is a graph. So we have the inputs. Okay, what are the inputs? Material, capital, and human. Okay, and then we have the task environment. Okay, the task environment. You have the competitors. Okay, the unions to protect the employees from management. the regulatory agencies. We have so many regulatory agencies also to protect, especially the employees. Okay, and then you have the clients, the customers. Okay, and then the outputs are the products and services. So and then so all of these four, the task, the structure, technology, and the the people make up the organizational elements. Okay. So the formal and informal organization. Now, what is a formal organization? What is this? Okay, the formal organizations are the officials, legitimate, and most visible part of the system. So you have the president, the vice president, okay, the clerk, okay, whatever is a part of the formal organization, okay, or the name or the roles, you can call them the roles, or you can say, say president or vice president, or you know, um, so whatever official and legitimate, most visible part of the system that it says on the role of the person. Now we also have the informal organization, the unofficial and less visible part of the system. Actually, both of these exist in the organization. Okay, the formal one and the informal one, the unofficial and less visible part of the organization. Sometimes the informal organization is more powerful than the formal organization. Okay, because sometimes the formal organization, especially in family business. So you have a vice president there who really doesn't know anything. Or the only thing that he is there because he's the son or daughter or some way that he got into that position. But there is somebody behind that person who is really doing the job, and that is now part of the informal organization. See, you know, and this is very, the informal organization, you really cannot see it, but it's there. Okay, it's there. Now, like I said a while ago, that in the United States there is a diversity. There is a diversity of people. Okay, but um, sometimes it's so hard to work. It's so hard to work with uh, um, cultures or formal organizations that are very culturally based. Okay, because it's whom you know that's running the organization, whom you know, or what is the nationality of that organization. But that is not you cannot see this in American organizations, in American uh, or corporations in the United States. Okay. The importance of employee moods, emotions, and dispositional effects, the key factor in the critical organizational outcomes. So the moods of the employees, the emotions, you know, dispositional effect is the key factor. These are more on emotions, because we have the intellect and we have the emotions. A human being is composed of two things: intellect and emotions. And these are dispositional effects is the key factor in critical organizations outcomes. So here is the another graph of formal and informal organizations. Okay, huh? Um, so the formal one is the social influence, and then the informal one. You can look at this. Um, um, So like I said, sometimes the informal organizations, the informal one are the people who are more powerful than the formal one. Okay. So here's another graph. New percentage of U.S. gross domestic product. U.S. gross domestic product. So what is a gross domestic product? This is the money. This is the money that are coming in depending on the on the on the business that you have. So we have durable goods, something that you can see, something that you can touch, and then non-durable goods. These are the services. The federal government, the purchases of the federal government, and then the fixed investments and the services. So if you're going to look at this in the United States, there are more services than products. Okay, because we buy our products mostly from countries that we can get it for cheap. Okay, and then we bring them here. Um, if you will see in my desk right now, everything's like made in China because it was cheap once upon a time. Okay, to buy these products from China, but the services are most like American, especially the use of the on finance. There are two countries that are running the show. It's Singapore and the United States. But the U.S. dollar is the money that that is used in the world. The money of the world is the U.S. dollars. The most accepted currency of the world is the U.S. dollars. Okay. Now, what are the six focus of organizations? These are the focus of organizations. Okay. Like Netflix, Ford Company. Okay. Like these are organizations that Netflix, like right now, um, we're doing everything like sometimes online, and I'm at home, so I just watch Netflix. And then you have Ford Motor Company that they want to sell. Of course, Netflix is like it's a movie thing, the movie and entertainment. Ford Motor is like they want to make cars and trucks. Okay, and, and then we have Oracle. It's a uh, it's a programming organization, or they 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 uh, they sell services for databases or other things that will make your computer a better. Um, you can use your computer better using Oracle products. Groupons, okay, Dyson. These are selling companies, and then you have Quick Trips. These organizations have a focus, okay, or a service that they are selling, or a product like Ford Motor, they're selling cars and trucks. Now the challenge, what are the challenges of change? What are the challenges of change? Okay, what now? Change comes in every minute, actually every second. Yeah, sometimes you're young and then you become in the middle age. There's a lot of change that's happening to a human being. That's also true for organizations. You know, they are born, organizations are born, and they die too. They die. The organizations die. You know, three challenges for managers relating to change in organization. So number one, globalization leads to intense rivalry. We're not only getting our product from one country, we're getting our product from all other countries. Okay. And these countries now are actually, if you're going to look at it, all countries want to sell to the United States. Why? Because the United States is the biggest buyer in the world, and we really don't care where the product came from. As the only thing we need is that the product is functional and reliable, or like products from Italy and France, which are symbolic, like Louis Vuitton. Okay, we have symbolic products, Louis Vuitton, Chanel. What is symbolic product? Hey, if you have this product, what does it mean? I'm better than you, something like that. Okay, huh? It's not a functional product, but they're more symbolic. So the workforce diversity now, ethnic, religious, and gender. In the United States, you see, by law, you have to be diverse by law. Okay, you cannot be all kinds of from one nationality only. Okay, or one ethnic group, because it doesn't work that way. Now, in as far as religion is concerned, now if we go back again to our Constitution, on the First Amendment, you can be whatever religion you have, or no religion at all. It's okay. You know, that's not applicable. That's not available in other countries. Gender, hey, you know what? Right now, you can marry a man to man, woman to woman. How many genders do we have in the United States? Or we have so many. We have like 32 genders right now. Okay, so it's kind of very confusing, isn't it? And especially when it comes to gender, even in our immigration, uh, people who can immigrate in the United States. I have so many students, international students, who married the same gender, and then they went to immigration and petitioned a girl to a girl, a boy to a girl, a boy to boy. There was one time when I even got shocked. Okay, huh? I even got shocked. Two girls approached me and they said, "Oh, she's my husband." Okay, I said, "Oh, wow. Okay, good." You know, it's very funny, but it's kind of funny, but that's the reality of it. And the other girl petitioned the other girl as her husband, or as her wife. Okay, you know, and there are there are so many stories about this that sometimes it shocks other. In other cultures, you cannot have that. You cannot have that. Okay, huh? Um, I have some students who came from those kinds of culture, and I said, "No, oh, that's not bad. It's so bad. It's so bad." But hey, you know what? It's not bad in the United States. Okay, so live with it. Okay. So quality. What is quality? Potential means of giving organizations, viable industries a competitive edge in international competition. Okay. Now, what countries do we have the faith or the belief that products coming from that country have quality? Okay. Now, once upon a time, when it says made in China, we kind of don't believe that there's quality. But right now, they're doing quality jobs. Even the iPhone is made in China. Okay. Like Germany is a country that we say, oh, it's made, the Mercedes-Benz is made in Germany. It's a good car. or the BMW. I had a BMW. It was not a good car. You know, hey, the Japanese, the Toyota is a good car. Sometimes we have that belief. You know, what did the Koreans do with their Kia and Hyundai? They had a 10 years warranty with 100,000. Okay, what are they saying there? Hey, we have quality. We're not scared of having the warranty for 10 years or 100,000 miles. That's a lot of miles, and that's a lot of, if you have a car that will break every month. I mean, that will be very expensive for the company to maintain. Okay, but Kia and Hyundai are giving it for 10 years and 100,000 miles. What are they saying? We have a quality product. We're not scared of that. The rubric for products and services that are of high status, the rubric. What's the rubric? The rubric is what they're saying, or like high status, like Chanel, Louis Vuitton. Okay, these are high status product, or the symbolic products that we have. We have three kinds of product. We have functional products, product that we use them because they're functional, it works. And then we have symbolic product. You want to tell another person, hey, you know what? I'm better than you. I have a symbolic product. I have a Chanel. Okay, what's your bag? Oh, it's a Chanel. What does it mean? It means I'm richer than you. Okay. And then we have another product is that we have our product that we buy because of experience. Okay, experience. We have been told to do this ever since we came in that group. Okay, like an example is that the Asians, they like to eat rice. The people in Latin America, they like to eat the bread, the kind of bread that they eat there. Okay, the tortillas. Okay, so these are products that are you buy them because of experience. Your parents told you to eat tortillas, or your parents told you to eat rice. Okay. A customer-oriented philosophy of management with implications for all aspects of organizational behavior. So, sometimes, like in the United States, the customer is always right. Okay, that's our idea. That's our belief. Our philosophy is the customer-oriented philosophy of management with implications for all aspects of organizational behavior. Like the customer is always right. Okay, because we believe that the customer is the one who's going to use the product or the service. Not of course, maybe we're also using it, but hey, we we let the other person decide what will be good for that person. What will be good for that person. Okay. A cultural value embedded in the successful organization. What's our cultural value? Our cultural value is that all men are created equal. Okay? And we decide by democratic principles. So that's the cultural value in the United States. All men are created equal. Equal. Maybe you're the boss, but still you have to respect me and I have to respect you. That's what it means. Okay. Three key questions in evaluating quality improvements ideas. So these are the questions. Does the idea improve customer response? Remember, in the United States, the customer is always right. Does the idea improve customer response? Does the idea accelerate results? Okay. And does the idea raise effectiveness of resources? Effectiveness of resources. Okay, these are the three questions that, hey, improve customer response. Okay. Now, of course, there are organizations that, hey, that will, I mean, they don't have resources at all, and they want you to work without any resources, and that's like impossible, you know. Okay, huh? But there are some companies that are they give you the resources to be successful. Okay, in successful in what? So that there will be a better customer response. Okay. Now the Six Sigma, this is a quality control idea that was developed between Europe and United States. Okay, huh? Um, um, this is a kind of certification, a philosophy of a company-wide quality improvement characterized by customer-driven approach. The customer is the center of the uh, of the existence of the company. Quantitative decision making. What is quantitative decision making? That is democratic way, okay, of decision making. Majority rules, minority follows, and a priority on saving money. Okay, of course, this is kind of hey, if you don't save money, your company will not exist forever. If you don't actually saving money means you're making profit, because if you don't make profit, you will not survive your organization is not going to survive for a long time. Okay, so these are the difference between uh, total quality management and the Six Sigma, executive ownership, self-directed work teams, contrasting Six Sigma and total quality management, business strategy, execution system, quality initiative, truly cross-functional, largely within a single function, focus training and verifiable measures, no mass training in statistics and quality measurement, return on investment. Okay, both of these have return on investment, business results oriented, quality oriented. So you see, these are the difference between Six Sigma. Both of them end up with better quality. Okay, managers act to advance total quality. Okay. Now, of course, when we sell products and services to our customer, we want them to have we want them to get the benefits of what we're selling to them. Okay, and in the United States, we have this idea that don't make it too hard for the customer to get our product. Don't make it too hard because if you make it too hard, you know you have competitors who will make it easy for them. Okay, they will make it easy for them. And once you end up with a I mean like there's always competition here in the United States. There's always competition. You know, in some other countries there's no competition, especially when you it's a communist country. So hey, you know what? The government tells you what to do, what to wear, and everything that you have. You know, but here you have competitors, and we also have the antitrust law. The antitrust law. Okay, what is the antitrust law? You cannot monopolize a selling of a product or a service. You cannot do that in the United States. Okay. Well, in some other countries you can do that. Two companies with different names are owned by the same organization. They're the same. There's no difference between them. Think about that. Think about company in your country. That is the same company with two different names. That is against the law in the United States if you do that. Okay. You can even end up in jail as owners of that company. So engage in participative management. Okay. To advance a total participative means the employees can participate and will be rewarded. They will be rewarded in offering participation in the management. That's not available in other countries. Okay, that's not available because people in those countries are not created equal like the United States. Okay, be willing to change everything. Okay, focus quality efforts for customer satisfaction, not cost cutting. Customer satisfaction. Some companies they just want to make profit on the back of the customer and on the back of the employee. Okay, they just want to make profit for that. Include quality as a reward criterion. If you participate, you get a reward. Communicate quality improvement and success or failure. Communicate quality improvement. Okay. Be actively and personally involved in quality. Okay. Everybody has to be a team member on improvement of the quality. So this is for the quality of the product or service that you are offering. Okay. Challenges in managing organizational behavior. What are the challenges? What are the challenges here? Increased globalizations of organization operating territory. Now we're a global means to say we get products and services from other countries that can do it better than us or whatever country you are. Okay. Increase diversity of organizational workforces. Now in the United States, diversity is a law. It's a law. You cannot just have one kind of nationality there. It doesn't work that way. Okay. So you have to work with other people. You have to work with other people. And you have to be happy working with them. And you have to accept other people. You have to accept them. You have to accept them as human beings, which is not available in other countries. Okay. Continuing demand for higher levels of moral and ethical behavior at work. Okay. Now, all morality are all the same. You know, be kind to another human being. But sometimes we say that, but we're not doing it. Ethical behavior are the rules of the organization as to what is right and what is wrong. Okay. Learning about organizational behavior. How do we learn this? First, science organizational behavior requires mastery of certain body of objective knowledge and research and scientific activities. Now, like I said, like we had a PowerPoint a while ago, you need to know a little of psychology, a little of medicine, a little of or a lot of management, and then a little of sociology, anthropology. These are the things that you put together. These are the knowledges that you put together to be able to understand human behavior or organizational behavior. Second, practice of organizational behavior requires skill development based on knowledge and understanding of yourself. You're a human being. How can you understand another human being? Okay. So learn something about yourself, learn about your greediness, your selfishness, and then you will learn that the other person is the same. And then now try to change your, you know, try to change your philosophy of doing things that you will be doing more for another person. Third, both objective knowledge and skill development must be applied in real world setting. Okay. Now, here I will emphasize that the United States is based on the idea that all men are created equal and we play by numbers. Majority rules, minority follows. Okay. So it's not that I'm the boss, you have to follow and kiss my hand. No, that's not the way it is. Okay. So here are the learning activity. Okay, and the pedagogical of learning human behavior. Okay, so this is the learning from structured activity. Okay, so individual or group, systematic review of the structure, continuous base structure, and new and modified. Now this is a continuous, okay, a continuous of the structure of the, because people in the United States, people leave the company, okay, if they're not happy, and people, you know, people have rights. I mean, employees have rights here. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. Okay, trends affecting managers, industrial restructuring, dramatic increase in the amount of availability of information. Employees now know, you can Google it. You can Google it, and you can Google anybody. A need to attract and retain the best employees. It's very hard to attract and retain the best employees. Now, it depends on what kind of employees you have that will make your organization successful or not. It cannot be just one kind of people who cannot even you cannot even understand what they're saying in English. And need to understand the wide range of human and cultural differences. Now, remember, in the United States, we have to work with other kinds of human and cultural differences. Okay, we don't all look alike. You know, in some other countries, everybody looks alike. But in the United States, no, we don't look alike. And we have to live with that. We have to live with that kind of, it will never change. Hey, you know what? Like, there's a, hey, let's make it all white. It cannot, that's against the law. Okay. So, it will never work in the United States because we are a country of immigrants. Okay. Now I'm emphasizing here the United States because all these theories that we're learning here right now is about the United States. And assumingly, you will be working in the United States. A rapid shortening of response times in all aspects of business activities. Now, one thing with American culture is that we wanted speed. We have we have the fast foods. Okay, I had a student from Vietnam. She said, "Oh, instead of ordering inside, I will I will I will put my paw in a drive-through." Okay, she was thinking of doing that because she said American people they don't like to get down of they don't like anymore to get down in their car. That's a waste of time. They just want to drive through. And then she was studying how many minutes can she do a paw or a Vietnamese sandwich, you know. And she said, "Oh, this will work. This innovation is going to work. That I'm going to do my service or my product or my pa restaurant in a drive-through." That was very, that was very innovative. That was a very innovative, way of doing things. So, what are the challenges for managers today? Relieving the public of human relationship within across and outside organization requires trust, predictability, and a sense of security. Okay, you know, knowledge becomes power. What knowledges do we need? Cultural diversity. Okay, facts, information, and theories are the knowledge base. You have facts. What are facts? Facts are with evidence. Evidence. Okay, information is sometimes they're facts and theories that were developed. Now, the most of the theories that we will be talking in this class are theories that are that are uh, that can be used in the United States. Okay, you don't go back to some other countries that the whole country is monolithic. What they mean by monolithic? Only one language. Only they look all the same. Okay, huh? So that's not the theories that we will be learning in this class.